This podcast is brought to you by Podcast Nation.
Holiday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Holiday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Holiday. Holiday, bring it on.
Shopping is hard, right? But there's a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And she sends just for me pieces. Plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what I love and send back the rest. It's so easy. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
My theory, I could be wrong, it's a very zen energy. And I think that's because you're filling your body with a lot of like all the minerals and antioxidants and nutrients that your body's supposed to get.
Welcome to Nirvana Sisters, where we discuss all things health and well-being to help you achieve your highest state, your nirvana. Hi, I'm Amy Sherman, a marketing exec with a passion for wellness and beauty.
Hi, I'm Katie Chandler, a former fit model that has a passion for health and fitness.
We are sisters-in-law who share the same love for well-being, ready to sift through all the self-care noise and bring you a splash of what we think is fun. So let's get started.
In the premiere episode of Nirvana Sisters this week, we talk about plant-based lifestyle. I spent about 2 months giving it a go and learned a lot about its benefits and a lot of easy tips and tricks to introduce it into your life and make it more accessible. It can be a little daunting, but we kind of break that down for you.
And stay tuned until the end because I review my favorite new sweet treat. And here is the premiere episode of Nirvana Sisters. Hope you enjoy. Hey, welcome to episode 1 of Nirvana Sisters, our first episode. So excited. We did it. We're here. And we are calling this episode our birthday because it's our first episode. And it's an idea we've been talking about forever. So I'm glad we're finally here and we doing this thing.
And it also happens to be your birthday. So happy birthday.
Thank you. So our goal was to get this recorded on my birthday and use that as our launch date. So anyway, let's get to it. So today's episode is talking about plant-based diet. It's like the trendiest thing. You feel like you hear about it from every person on Instagram, and it's just like sort of this thing that everyone's doing, but you're like, what is it? Is it vegan? Is it I don't know.
Vegetarian, right?
What is it? And Katie always is up on all the health trends. She's always paying attention to her body and her well-being. And so she started doing plant-based. I've done it. I've been on it. I've been off of it, but I just thought this would be a good time to kind of talk through what it means, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there about what it actually means and what it is. And it seems intimidating, but it's really not. So Katie, can you just tell us, tell us why you started, but before that, can you give us like the audience a 101 on what plant-based is and what it isn't? Because I think there's just a lot of confusion.
Yeah, sure. So plant-based is not quite vegan and it's not quite vegetarian. And the reason for that is because veganism is it's driven mostly by people's morals and values. It's more about protecting animals and the planet. And then vegetarianism is when you still can eat some animal products like dairy or eggs. So plant-based is actually the most strict form of eating as, plants only, in that you don't allow for dairy and you don't allow for eggs. You eat more whole foods, but it's not so much about your moral compass. It's for your health.
Okay.
And the reason why
the added benefit of being good to the earth versus the other way around.
Yeah, that's a bonus. And the reason why it's so super popular and trendy right now is because of, obviously, the COVID era that we're in. People are more focused on their health and their immune system being, boosted and super healthy. And the best way to do that is by eating a lot of plants.
Right. So when did you start eating plant-based, and take us through your journey with it?
I started probably like 3 months ago. I did it for a solid 2 months. For me, I was driven mostly because of gut health. I was having a lot of stomach issues from kind of eating, poor diet through COVID, all of the stress eating junk food, and it totally screwed up my microbiome, my gut, which in turn was starting to affect my immune system. And I was getting sicker and just not feeling well. So I thought it would be a good way to just kind of reset things. And I actually really enjoyed it, but it can be a little bit, it can be a little intimidating. I think that's why a lot of people don't do it. But
right. People are like, where do I start?
Yeah. And it's easier now and more accessible than it ever has been. The food manufacturers are onto the trend, and they're making more plant-based products that are whole food driven, more convenient products. So it's not as inaccessible and difficult as it once was. You don't have to cook every single meal from scratch, but it is
more accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so how did you learn to eat plant-based? Did you research? Was it trial and error? Like, how did you kind of get on a routine?
I learned to do plant-based really on my own, trial and error, but I also did work with a nutritionist, which is highly suggested if you can, because there are certain things that you want to do to keep yourself from almost getting sick before you get healthy, right? So when you transition from a plant-based, from your standard American diet to a plant-based diet, it's really important that you kind of do it slowly, maybe change out one meal at a time so that you are not all of a sudden bombarded with a ton of fiber. Eating a lot of plants comes with an extreme amount of fiber, which is exactly what you want. That's good for you. That's going to boost your immune system. It's going to bring prebiotics into your gut, boosting your gut health. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. So eating all of that fiber and prebiotics is the reason why we are driven to the plant-based diet. But if you all of a sudden go from eating very little fiber to a ton of fiber, like 15, 20, 25 grams a day, you are going to get very bad stomach issues, like, of course, bloating and gas and constipation and all that stuff. So they tell you to slowly introduce it, replace one meal at a time. And then also a few other key factors are eat a huge variety of plants. It sounds daunting, but they suggest 60 varieties of plants in a week. But you have to keep in mind, that's not just like vegetables, right? That's fruits, that's legumes, that's grains, that's nuts, that's seeds, tubers. Like there's actually a wide variety when you look at all of the plants.
What are tubers?
Tubers are like root vegetables, things like, like parsnips and rutabagas.
Oh, okay. So this is a dumb question, but can you eat eggs, or you can't eat eggs?
You can't. No. If you want to be truly plant-based, you can't eat eggs. But there's also a great egg substitute, one of the best on the market now. It's called Just Eggs. It's made from mung beans.
I love that.
Some of the best products right now that are on the market are Just Eggs. It's phenomenal. It's made from mung beans. The Beyond Meat products, there's a little bit of like a mixed review in the vegan world on them, but they're actually really pretty clean. They're made from pea protein. So less products are being made from things like soy, which there's nothing wrong with soy, but some people handle it better than others. And there's also great things like, almond milk yogurt, coconut yogurt, cauliflower-based dips. Like one of our favorites in this house is queso, but it's made from cauliflower. It has no dairy in it. It's so good.
Yum.
What have you tried?
I've tried a lot of those things, and I've done the Beyond Burger, which and there's something about it. It's like I've had it, and then every time I have it, it has this taste, and I think it's the soy that I react to. And then I had the same issue with Just Egg, but they recently took their soy out, so now I can have all of the patties and the liquid and all that stuff, and it's great. But the Beyond Burger, for some reason, doesn't agree with me as well as some of the other ones. But I love all the cauliflower made products, like cauliflower crust pizza and all of that stuff is awesome. That you're right. There are a lot of alternatives if I'm thinking about it. If you're going to the store, all the almond milk products and coconut milk. And so So the idea is you want to start small. So you want to introduce it one meal a day over what, like a week's time?
Really over a few weeks' time. The slower you do
Okay.
it, the easier it's going to be on your system. Some people, once you have like fully transitioned to eating only plants, you're still without a doubt going to have a bit of discomfort. There's going to be a transitional period. Some people, it goes away in 2 weeks. Some people, it goes away in 3 months. I mean, your body's detoxifying, right? So you've been eating animal product, you've been eating processed food. So your body's getting rid of chemicals, hormones, antibiotics, all of these things that are added to our standard American diet. So as you're flushing that out, you're probably going to have a little bit of fatigue and not feel so great. And in the meantime, your stomach's also going to be adjusting to all of this extra fiber. The great thing about the fiber, though, is that it is helping you flush out toxins. Fiber actually binds onto all those toxins in your body. Like if you have extra estrogen, it's going to flush that out of you every day. Every day that you go to the bathroom, if you've eaten an appropriate amount of fiber, it's going to pull all of that out, which is phenomenal if you have health issues.
Yeah.
And then,
so you must feel like after doing it for a few months, you must feel so good and like clean and healthy. Like your skin looks great. I'm looking at you now, and you just probably feel really like different.
you do. Once your body adjusts and you're running on what I like to call clean fuel, you feel phenomenal. You have so much energy. You don't go through a lot of the highs and lows that you get with the standard American diet, with like glycemic index jumps and everything, and blood sugar highs and lows. Your energy is very, very steady. And I don't really know why. I think my theory, I could be wrong, it's a very zen energy. And I think that's because you're filling your body with a lot of like all the minerals and antioxidants and nutrients that your body's supposed to get. It gives you a very just zen, calm, steady state of energy. That was my favorite byproduct of it. Besides, of course, it being good for the planet and my immunity.
Yeah. And the thing is too, if you like really think about it, it's so simple. I mean, it's foods that are coming from the earth. So they're organic and, there's nothing added. And so it's really going back to basics, which, there's just so many things made nowadays with chemicals and all these extra ingredients that we don't need. And it's really just going back to basics. If you think about it, do you find that you are hungry?
No. And that has, again, a lot to do with the fiber. Fiber is really filling. And actually you eat a much bigger, larger portions that are more nutrient dense, but less calorically dense.
Mm-hmm.
So you get really full eating buckets of vegetables. It's what it can feel like. Yeah. But you're eating, very small calories. That's why a lot of people that eat plant-based diet are pretty lean too. So if somebody's trying to lose weight, it's phenomenal for that. It also is phenomenal for people that have diabetes, hypertension. You can literally reverse type 2 diabetes within weeks of starting a plant-based diet. You can lower your cholesterol levels. It's phenomenal for just kind of doing an overhaul on your body and getting you into your peak performance, your peak state.
I love it. You're Nirvana.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the key is, and I probably didn't do this well when I tried to eat plant-based, it's really taking your time and doing it for the long haul versus just like all of a sudden being like, I'm going to eat plant-based and I'm going to do this for a couple of weeks. Like, I think it's more about taking your time. Like if you're trying to lose weight, one would say, you need to do that over months' time. It's just like, if you want to go plant-based, it sounds like you need to do it over time so your body adapts and it's like a gentle ease into it versus it just like, oh, let me just switch real quick and try to do something. So I think that's an important lesson. I have done Sakara Life, which, for, I don't know, probably the last year or so. And I actually love it. I started doing it because I wanted to eat more plant-based and I had read about it and I had heard amazing things about it. So I tried it and I love it. I just don't get it every week anymore. I used to get it every week for a while, but then it was just, I stopped and then all this pandemic stuff and I just kind of took a break. And now I kind of get it maybe once or twice a month. But for anyone who's listening who has thought about Sakara Life, I know, Katie, you're probably going to try it at some point. You're plant-based now, but the thing with Sakara Life is I think if you transition to plant-based, it's great. But the thing with Sakara Life is the recipes are so amazing. I could never make them at home. And every time I get a meal from them, it's so nutrient dense and rich, like to the point you were saying, like, I'm so full after every meal. It's amazing that I just had like all plant-based meal. I mean, it's so like satisfying and so flavorful. I was talking to Katie over our vacation this summer, and I was just saying, like, you're like eating and enjoying it so much because the recipes that they put together are just so flavorful and yummy. And like, you feel like you're getting really good nutrients and you just feel so good on it. Like every time I have Sakara, I'll do it for a week. I'm not bloated. I feel like I have so much energy. So for anyone listening who has wanted to try it, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to kind of start to transition. I do it sometimes like 3 days a week. So I'm just like slowly introducing plant-based. I just haven't gone fully plant-based yet, even though I'd like to, just because I don't know. I haven't gotten my head
but you're doing it right. That's the right way to do it, is you're slowly kind of diving into it.
Yeah, I go through phases with it. But anyway, Sakara's great. They have like a beautiful website and gorgeous photography. But not only that, the product is really, really good, really fresh. It comes in a like box with frozen ice packets, and then you take it out and it's really great because everything's labeled for each day based on freshness. And like they want you to eat certain things Monday versus Wednesday. And then everything's labeled, and all the containers that they're in are nesting. So it's really easy to put in your fridge. So anyway, the meals are great. The granola is great. Everything about it is amazing. I'm obsessed. So I'm getting
it. Looks like they get really creative with their recipes, right? Like things that somebody might want to cook at home. It's probably a bit too much because they have so many different ingredients and the way that they pair them. It's really special. The meals it's like dining at an excellent restaurant, right?
Exactly. That's a good comparison. 100%. And so it's really a treat. And the thing that I also like about it when I first started Sakara is I was like, oh, what's the calories? What's the macros? And I was like all crazy with that. And I called and they're like, we don't really share that. I mean, we can tell you, it has X amount of protein per meal and whatever, but they're more like, it's more about the nutrients you're getting. And it's really of the mindset of not thinking about that stuff and not thinking about the macros and the carbs, because it doesn't matter if you're eating plant-based and really good, fresh, organic, from the ground food, whole foods. Yep. Then all of that stuff doesn't matter because you're going to feel good and feel fit. And so the philosophy is a bit different. So highly recommend this plant-based idea. Katie's definitely more of an expert than I am, but it's really interesting to hear about it. And I just wanted Katie to kind of talk through it on this episode because it does feel like a trend. And I don't really think it's a trend. I think it's just something that people have been doing for years. It's now just more people are talking about it. But I mean, if you think about it, it's very simple. It's probably how our parents ate back in the day when there wasn't all these like crazy packaged foods. So it's really just like simple whole foods, which is really back to basics. So I love it. All right, moving on. Something that we want to do in every episode, which is, oh, you know what? Before we do our Nirvana of the week or our favorite moment of the week, I forgot. There was something I wanted to share with Katie. I was waiting to tell her about it. So I'm a major sweets person. I'm obsessed with candy and all things sweet. And, I try not to eat it too much, but I'm always looking for hacks. So my favorite hack are 2 candies that I found. That one is plant-based, which I will talk about first. So I'm showing Katie, it's Smart Sweets, which is their kind of tagline is kick sugar, keep candy. So it only has 3 grams of sugar. And it's plant-based. It says it on the label, and it's free from sugar alcohols, which it says on the label. And the ingredients, I won't go through all of them. There's not many, but it's like prebiotic soluble fiber from tapioca, rice flour, pectin, chicory root. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Chicory root fiber, malic acid, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, it's so yummy. You can have a bunch, and it's really doesn't have a lot of calories. And the one that I'm looking at right now, showing Katie, is called Peach Rings. But it's great because if you are doing plant-based and you want a little treat or you want to get that something sweet, Smart Sweets, highly recommend, love. And then the other one.
So good. I have actually had the gummies. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Like
I love them. And now they're coming out with like Swedish fish and all this stuff. So it's like, if you're going to eat candy, you might as well eat that because it's so much better for you.
Totally.
And then there's another brand that's new and emerging. I went to Brand Week a few weeks ago and it's called Behave. I'm showing Katie, I have a little postcard that they sent me. They sent me some samples and it's a really cute brand. It's called Behave with like a slash in between the Behave. It's eatbehave.com. You can order it online. And these are gummies. I don't think they're plant-based yet. I think I was going through the ingredients with Katie earlier, and they're not plant-based, but they are low sugar. Same idea with Smart Sweets. And I think it's made from monk fruit, but there was something in it.
It was a gelatin. Gelatin is deceiving, but it's made from collagen, which is an animal product.
Yeah. So I think this brand is probably working on a plant-based version, but it's a new kind of emerging fun brand. And this one tastes a little bit different than Smart Sweets. Smart Sweets kind of tastes like regular candy, which is great. And this one is more of like a gourmet type candy, like it's made by chefs. So it's a little bit of a different spin. So Smart Sweets is kind of like your basic candy, but this one's like really gourmet and curated by chefs. So the founder partnered with some chefs she knew in New York and put together this candy, but it really feels like gourmet. And
love that.
And it's really like
candy.
What?
Artisanal candy.
That's exactly right. Perfect word. And it's really indulgent. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to get some more of it because from a sugar standpoint, it's really low in sugar. So that's my two favorite product reviews of the week.
That was great.
Okay, so the last thing we wanted to do before we sign off is just to talk about our Nirvana of the week, so our high point of the week. So I'll start, and my high point is actually today because it's my birthday and we got to record our first podcast, and I'm so happy about it. We've just been talking about this idea for so long, so I'm finally glad we got to do it, and it's on my birthday, and it's super fun to spend time with Katie and talk to you every week. And I'll pass it off to you, Katie. What's your Nirvana of the week?
Well, I have to say, not to be too unoriginal or anything, but it's mine as well.
Aww.
This is totally my Nirvana. It's so fun to be able to talk to you and to just be creative and express ourselves. And it's great. And I'm so excited and looking forward to everything that it's going to become. And then I have one little other Nirvana, which I think you'll think is funny, was when I was on my way home from dropping my 7-year-old Madeline off at school this morning, my 2-year-old Reese asked me to put Madonna on the radio. So I was pretty impressed with that, and that gave me a little Nirvana boost.
That's so cute. I love that, Reese girl. Anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks friends for tuning in to today's episode. For more information on this episode, check out our show notes. Find us at Instagram at Nirvana Sisters. And if you liked what you listened to or you know someone that you think would like it, please share. We are just starting and we're loving all of the feedback that we've already started to get. And we just want to break things down and make them real. And that's it. So tune in next week for a fresh new episode of Nirvana Sisters, and we'll continue to watch out for all things wellness so you don't have to. Bye.